Hi guys, thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. My name is Catherine and I tell true stories. My story today is about the power of the demons. These things have some power, but it's limited because this power was given to them by God, even after He cast them out of heaven. But He gave human a will to choose between right and wrong. So then you cannot blame God that He created the devil, and then you will be cast into hell if you do not obey Him, because he gave you a will to choose between right and wrong. So the first power is possession. These things, these supernatural entities, can possess a human. They can enter into your body and influence your thoughts and actions. And that's why people who are possessed sometimes are not even themselves. Sometimes they do things, and when they come to themselves, they don't remember doing anything of the sort. Like a boy just wakes up one morning in Kenya and murders his whole family. How does a boy, a teenage boy, murder a whole family? All plus his own father, who is a very strong man. Why couldn't the father overpower him? Or why wouldn't the family overpower him? This is simply a possession. It is a possession because a boy single handedly finishes the whole family. How? That's not normal. So this boy is obviously possessed. You hear of such cases and you wonder, how? I mean, wouldn't they overpower him? Mm. And then another thing comes into this is the strength. And that's why you wonder, how on earth did the family not be able to overpower this thing or to overpower this boy? It's actually a thing at that moment, not their real boy when he's killing them. The strength they have supernatural strength. They exhibit supernatural strength to overpower any human beings. That's why you see a small boy, when possessed, throwing things around and he's just sitting there. He doesn't have to do it physically. This is the strength that they possessed, that the demons possess. Normally, when such people come to themselves, they wonder, what happened? What did I do? And they're even remorseful of what they do, you know. And then another thing they possess is immortality. These things don't die because they're spirits. They are there to live to eternity. They will not die. Only that they know that at the end of the world, they will all be cast back to hell. They will not have the power to move around like they're having at the moment, and they know that. That's why they use their time to the best of their ability. And then another thing is they're invisible. You cannot see them unless they want you to see them. If they want you to see them, you will see them because it's part of their duty to scare you and to make you sin, to torment you. So if they want to torment you or to scare you, they will make themselves visible to you. But another thing is they cannot read our minds. That those are some of the limitations that God made. They cannot read our minds. A demon cannot know what you're thinking. But they judge you by your action, your behavior. They can only predict what you're going to do by your behavior. And they influence it even more because of the experience they have. They have been there all those years since creation. So they have experience, and that's how they influence your behavior. And that's why you realize that you keep on falling into the same kind of sins. You know, you don't have new sins like another person. You might have some of the other persons, but you have this particular one all the time because they know your behavior. They predict and they know where to attack you because they know your weaknesses, but they cannot read your mind. That's the better part of it. Another thing is telekinesis. Telekinesis is they manipulate objects by using their minds without physical touch. They can move things with their minds. They don't have to touch the things. And that's why when a possession is starting on when a house is possessed, there is this thing called what do you call it? When things start moving around, when a possession starts, possession of items, things like that. Things just start moving around, but you don't see the demon because they have the power to move them. And you normally see this in movies when they're being when there's a possession and the priest is trying to remove the demon from the person. They throw things around, just to scare the priest or to harm the person. They're there in the person being possessed, but they're throwing things around. They don't have to leave the person before they can throw the item just to scare the priests. So these movies are not just movies; they are taken from real life happenings. And then there is something called pyrokinesis. Pyrokinesis is the power to generate and start fires. Sometimes you just hear a place just burned down, and the investigators cannot find a reason why the place burned down. And when they dig into the history of the places, they see that the place kind of had some evil happenings before. Maybe bad people used to live there, or alternatively, the place was haunted. You just see that a house caught fire for no reason. That is sometimes the demonic action, cause harm. And then another thing is they can alternate the weather modifications. They change the weather if they want. You see, in a place where there is a demon normally, it's cold. Like you enter a room and you feel all the other places are okay with the temperature, but this particular room where somebody is possessed is normally cold. They have altered the temperature of that room. I don't know why. They know better. And then another thing they have, the power they have is voice mimicry, mimicking people's voices, mimicking people's voices. And that is very scary and eerie, unsettling experiences. You know, a priest is trying to remove a demon from the person. And then the demon now imitates the voice of the mother of the priest who had passed away. So that the priest feels sorry for the demon. The priest is influenced by that voice and does not want to continue with the exorcism. You know, suddenly he starts talking like maybe your relative who died tries to be nice. Are you trying to do? And then suddenly changes to its voice again. Eerie, and disturbing. They do this just to disrupt the exorcism. And most of the time, they like talking in Latin, the language that they hate most, and it's the one they will use just to scare the priest even more. See? Another thing is they know your past sins. They know your past sin because they're the causes of sin. So most of the time when the priests are trying to exorcise them and the priest has not confessed those past sins, because when the priest confesses those sins, they are removed. Or whoever is trying to do the exorcism confesses those sins, they are removed. So there's nothing they see. But if you are trying to exorcise a person, and you still have some sins, they will use that against you. And they will mention your sins just to embarrass you to stop the exorcism. Do you remember that lady that you were with the other night and you're trying here to be holy? So that's why it's good, like you confess your sins before you try an exorcism. So if you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.